All right, everybody. It is now that time of the week where we go over our Week 6 pick'em results for the NFL 2018 season, and let's just jump right into it. Of course, we have the bye week, so we will not see games from the Detroit Lions or New Orleans Saints as we go over who won and who lost. Hopefully, we improve on our overall record for the season, even though I know we didn't. We went 8-7 this week. Not exactly the best week you can have, but sometimes you have a bad week. This was a weird week of football. I've heard from a lot of different people that they didn't have the best weeks themselves, so let's see how we do going forward. Thursday night football, we had of course, the Philadelphia Eagles did defeat the New York Giants 34-13 to send the Eagles to 3-3 and to put the Giants now to a miserable 1-5 where they have a lot more questions than they have answers in a season in which I thought personally the Giants would have turned it around and had answers to questions more so than the opposite. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. So that brings us to 1-0 for week 6. And I was like, all right, good start, good start. And then it fell apart rather quickly. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons won this game 34-29 to improve to 2-4 as the Buccaneers continue a 3-game losing streak and fall to 2-3. I would imagine they also fired defensive coordinator Mike Smith after another 400-yard game, his 20th and since just 2016. Very bad, not a good situation for the Buccaneers. I don't know how they're going to be going forward as they don't have a bye week, so hopefully Mark Duffer can stop the bleeding on the defense and they can win some games. And then we had the Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, in which the Steelers beat the Bengals 28 to 21, on a last minute or a last second touchdown to Antonio Brown. And it was a pretty good finish, fun game all around to watch. It was good. The Steelers won a must-win game, and the Bengals were unable to pull ahead and really put themselves far ahead of their division at 5-1. But it is what it is. And if you're a Bengals fan, this is pretty much just business as usual when you play the Steelers. What is that, like 8 straight wins now? They just can't beat Big Ben. And then we have the Chargers beat the Browns in a more obvious game the first one of these games I got right. I was very happy I got this right. The Chargers won 38-14 over the Browns to improve to 4-2 in second place in the very strange AFC West that the Chiefs are running away with, even though they lost this week. And the Browns fall to 2-3-1, which is still an improvement from last year. Even if they go 13-1 for the year, it's still a much better year than last year. So I don't know, not much to complain about if you're a Browns fan. Then we have the battle of irrelevancy between the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. The Texans won 20-13. I think they're like tied for first place now in the AFC South, which is just pathetic. There's like 3 teams from that division that are 3-3. I got this game right, and the Bills lose the game to go to 2-4. And Josh Allen is day to day with an elbow injury, so we'll see if he plays this next week or if they're going to go with Nathan Peterman, which is hilarious. And then in what I considered one of the more shocking games of the day, the Miami Dolphins beat the Chicago Bears 31-28 on a last-second field goal in overtime, as time was pretty much ticking away, where we would have had the league's third tie. But the Dolphins kicker went ahead and made a clutch go-ahead field goal, and they won the game. The Bears now fall to 3-2, and they could have put themselves in a lot of distance in first place, but they failed to do so, as did the Bengals. So at least Cincinnati's not alone in icing their own spot in a playoff race. That brought me to a 3-3, as I went 1-3 so far on these picks, and then it doesn't get much better on the 1 p.m. games, as the Minnesota Vikings defeated the Arizona Cardinals 27-17 to improve to 3-2-1, and I believe move into a tie with the Bears. I don't know how these ties figure into the playoffs. It's going to be muddy at the end of the year. And then we have the Cardinals, who are now 1-5. They play Thursday night football, and if they don't win, I would imagine there's going to be some people being fired in that organization. They are bad. They have no offense. They just can't score points. It's not good. So we'll see how that plays out going forward. And then the Jets beat the shit right out of the Colts in a defensiveless game of 42-34. The Jets improved to 3-3, as while the Colts seem worse off with Andrew Luck this year than they did last year, falling to 1-5. I'm not really sure what the issue is. They obviously don't have much of a defense. They're scoring efficiently. I just think teams are putting up way too much points, against this team. I don't know what to do if you're the Colts. You might have to restart trade luck and start from the ground up. I'm not sure what they're going to do. And then we have the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders playing in London, which I forgot to mention. And the Seahawks won this game pretty easily, 27-3 to improve to 3-3 and to stay alive in the NFC West, as the Raiders now fall to 1-5, and the John Gruden era is starting to look questionable. Why the hell did he even show up? Why the hell did the Raiders give him all that money to produce a 1-5 season in which he got rid of Khalil Mack and now wants to get rid of Amari Cooper? I don't know why they did that, but it is what it is. And then the Carolina Panthers lost to the Washington Redskins 17-23 as the Redskins intercepted the ball late in the game and deep in their own territory off Cam Newton to kind of solidify the game. I think it was number 24, so it might have been Josh Norman that sealed the game with an interception late. It might be someone else though. Both teams are now 3-2. Washington still in first place in the NFC East as Carolina falls a little bit further behind the New Orleans Saints. And that brought us to 4-6 for the week. And at this point, I was panicking, thinking there's no way I'm going to get to 500. So we venture on. The 4 o'clock games come around. And just as I predicted, the Los Angeles Rams were able to hold on and beat the Denver Broncos just barely. They just barely are holding on to being the only undefeated team left in football at 6-0. And the Broncos fall to 2-4 as they just played a wrong team to run into at the wrong time. I think they've lost 4 in a row though, which is something to take note of. Broncos are slipping hard, and Case Keenum might not be the right solution, so we'll watch that going forward. And this was a bit of a surprise to me in terms of just the score and the scope of the ass whooping. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, notoriously illustrious, this great defense, 40-7. This was an ass whooping. The Jaguars were exposed as a very average, normal football team. Blake Bortles isn't the answer for the Jaguars at quarterback. Without Leonard Fournette, that team is incredibly, incredibly average, if not below average. I don't know what, and when they're not at home, they can't use the heat to their advantage, so they just look like a normal team. So I don't know. 40-7 is a pretty big whooping on that defense. And then the Baltimore Ravens beat the Tennessee Titans in a very embarrassing offensive showing by the Titans, who put up 0 points as the Ravens didn't have to do much to get to 21. They're like the luckiest 4-2 I've ever seen in football because they're playing teams like Tennessee all the time. Fucking, it's just bullshit. But anyway, that brought me to 6-7, and I think this is the week where you'll see in my week 7 picks and predictions video that this is the week Baltimore goes down and they get exposed as a real bad team. So anyway, that brought me to 6-7, and then I was like, all right, dude, I got to go 2-0 on Sunday and Monday night. Sunday night rolls around and booyah, baby! The fucking New England Patriots host the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Patriots finally defeat the Chiefs 43-40 to improve to 4-2, and the Chiefs fall to 5-1, their first loss of the season. Mahomes played great, Brady played great, both teams played great. It was a great game all the way down. Both teams had comebacks, but Brady ultimately was the king of the game and still led the teams to get the points, to get the comebacks, or to get the comeback win and solidify themselves as still kind of the rulers of the AFC, to prove the AFC still goes through New England. Very good game. I can't wait to watch these two teams hopefully meet up in the AFC Championship. This is going to be a fun thing going forward. Mahomes is special. Rough first half in the game, came back in the second and played out of his mind. So good for him for not falling into the trap that a lot of young quarterbacks fall into, where they slip and they can't get back up. They need life alert. Mahomes didn't need no life alert. He slipped and he got back up and played lights out. Good on him. That's a special team. But the New England Patriots got the dub tonight, or Sunday night, and their Patriots are playing a lot hungrier football than a lot of teams. So watch that going forward. And then, of course, last night, Green Bay Packers beat the San Francisco 49ers. I pretty much reacted to the whole game. They won 33-30 to improve to 3-2-1. For I think like a 3-way tie for first place in the NFC North right now. All 3 of the leaders are 3-2 if you don't count those ties. I don't know how those factor in. And the 49ers fall to 1-5. Sort of unsurprisingly, they're the most banged up team I've ever seen. No quarterback, no running back, even though Bethard played beautifully. It wasn't enough to beat the Packers, and Mr. Comeback himself did it again against the losing team. Here's a fun fact. Aaron Rodgers is like 1 or 2 and 35 or 25. I can't remember which 5 it is against. So I'll call it 2 and 35 against winning teams in the fourth quarter in which he trails. So here's another win against the losing team. Good for Aaron Rodgers. What a hero. That brought me to 8-7 though for the week, which is pretty good. It ties my worst for the week, but it wasn't the worst I could have done. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. But that brings 2018, the season pick'em results from last week were 40, 35, and 2. But that brings us to an updated 48, 42, 48, 42, and 2. So we're doing all right. I would like to be a little bit better. We could be in the 50s, but you know, it is what it is. I'm doing all right, so I hope you're doing a lot better than me on your personal NFL pick'em results for this 2018 season. I hope I improve on my upcoming video, which will be the NFL Week 7 pick'em. I hope you check that out. I hope you continue to check out all the new content on the channel. Like this video if you think it's good. Let me know how you did down in the comment section below. If you're new, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for all the new subscribers. I seen I hit over 100 finally. Thank you for the success on the last video. I'll address that in the other video coming up shortly today. And yeah, look out for NFL Week 7 Pick'em. Have a nice day.